Hey guys, Casual Chrono here. I know I have a video already on the Dragon God, but I wanted to just show the various ways to kill him. The Dragon God is null to all the elements, resists thunder and shade, and is only vulnerable to, well, weak to crystal. Well, I'm going to start off this video with featuring Alma, crystal user. You'll see her ether alchema is producing the weak point notice. So this is how to defeat the Dragon God using Alma and her support team. So you'll notice the fire attacks that Jet Xion has are null. So first things first, I'm going to drop a magic stance. I'm going to inflict pain and poison. She is going to overwhelm. And we are just going to go ahead and lunatic on the first turn. Alright, the team is set up. So now on the second turn, I'm going to cast Illusion Black Dragon, and that will increase the party's weak point damage and increases magic damage based on MP. So basically it won't hurt the Dragon God, it will simply buff Alma. Alma will go ahead and Ether Alchema once. At this point, with Pain and Poison placed, I have a choice now. I can beef up the team for 3 turns, or I can do status immunity and grant shield. So I'm just going to beef up the team for 3 turns. And Radius is going to Prominence Purge, which won't do any damage, but will redirect attacks to her.
Take this.
You'll notice that Alma's Ether Alchema already has sliced the Dragon God's hit points in half. So I could blow the AF bar and bring him down the rest of the way. What I am going to do is awaken the zone now. It won't do any damage because it's a fire attack, but it will improve the magic zone. At this point, Alma is buffed. The boss is debuffed. The only thing left for Iffy to cast is status immunity and give herself a shield. And at this point I've cast Prominent Purge, which lasts for 5 turns, so I can overwhelm and just continue to decrease the Dragon God's power. So and there you go. Dragon God is down. So that may have seemed like a very simple fight. This team is pretty strong though, so to be fair. Okay, Xion, here's his gear, which it didn't matter because he couldn't create any damage. Grasta-wise, he did increase damage with pain, but again, Xion's attacks were null. So really the only use Xion had was to drop a Magic Fate stance, to cast Illusion Black Dragon, which improved Alma's damage, and then to awaken the zone. So those were the 3 skills that Xion did. Alma herself had the Elpis Bow, Guidance Ring, which improves her type attack, and Weak Point Badge. So he was weak to crystal, so she was doing an extra 30% damage for crystal. Grasta-wise, she had the 3 Power of Pains, 1 with Bullseye, 1 with MP Consumption, the 3rd is not upgraded. Iffy, you saw her 3 skills. 1 produced Pain and Poison, 1 buffed and one created shields. So the pain poison also reduced the Dragon God's power a little bit. In Radius, she had the illusion speed weapon for extra health, the Elpis Bangle for extra health. She had a 2000 HP 50% halved badge from Toto's Theater World. And Grasta-wise, she had 3 Grastas that gave 300 health, and each one had a 300 health ore attached. One of the 3 was Victory Celebration, which also gave her continual regen, but you saw from the damage output she didn't really need it. So, back row, the support, Pizzica. Doesn't really matter if it was Pizzica, it could have been any bow user. As long as they had these 3 Grasta equipped, 1 to give Alma regen, 1 to enhance her damage below 80%, and 1 to enhance her damage when she's at max health. Bivette's Grasta were designed to help Xion mostly. Xion has an extra 30% damage to fire. Of course, the boss was immune to it. He did an extra 30% damage at max health, which again, the boss was immune to it. And then 25% extra damage to cat lovers, which both he and Alma are. So Bivette was beefing up Alma a little bit. So. Iffy's Grasta, I think I forgot to mention that, for the most part didn't help too much. She had 2 staff Grasta, which Alma's not a staff user, but she also had Almighty Power Gun, which improves damage by 25% for gun users, and Alma is technically a gun user. So that was this team to defeat the Dragon God. Alright, so let's say that you have these main 4 characters, but you don't have all of that awesome gear. So I want to show you how it can work. Xion, remember, didn't do damage, so as long as you just have those 3 skills equipped, that's all he really needs. So none of the Grasta helped in this fight. None of his gear really helped in this fight. So let's say that you don't have the Elpis weapon. I went ahead and gave her an older weapon, Miyake's bow, which at this point, due to power creep, should be fairly accessible to most people. And instead of the weakness badge, I just gave her a simple power badge, power of 20. So the Grasta, though, are still the same, because again, at this point in the game, it shouldn't be too hard to collect 3 power of pain Grastas and to upgrade them to some degree. Okay. Iffy was really there primarily just for her skills. And for Radius, let's say that you don't have all of the most current gear, you don't have a 10,000 hit point tank, so I just gave her some random weapon, Gojin sword. I gave her a plasma bangle, and she does not have a badge equipped at all. So this brings her health back down to 6,500, which is primarily because she has 1,800 health just in her Grasta alone. As long as you equip any 300 health Grasta and upgrade it with the HP ore, it really doesn't matter. Like, you'll see some of these are like increase HP restore, one in reserves, stuff like that. Stuff that doesn't really help her. So basically, I have the same 4 characters. I removed the background. I removed the sidekicks. So now this fight is just the 4 of them versus the Dragon God. We're basically going to follow the same strategy. Jet Xion is going to drop Magic Zone. She's going to Lunatic. She's going to create Pain Poison. And she's going to Overwhelm on the first turn. Second turn, she's still going to Ether Alchema. I'm going to improve the party's weak point damage. She is going to I'm a little torn here. You'll notice that this time around, Radius got hit with a pain. So I could cast this spell and give everyone status immunity one time, or I can just go ahead and buff the team. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and buff the team for now and then worry about this one.
Take this.
You will notice without the Elpis bow, Alma is doing a little less damage than usual. She's going to cast Overwhelm. Now with the team buffed and the boss poisoned, I can cast the status immunity. She can do Ether Alchema again, and he's going to awaken the zone. And this should drop the boss to its HP stopper, which is at 50%. Okay, the zone is now awakened. This is the last turn of Lunatic for Alma. I could just go ahead and eat, to pretty much guarantee a victory if you're at this point, you could blow the AF bar, blast Ether Alchema a couple of times, and make sure he dies. What I'm going to do is not do that. I'm going to cast Attack Order again, which inflicts Break on the boss. As long as no one else attacks the boss, that means Ether Alchema is going to get a huge damage boost. And so I'm going to go ahead and cast the status immunity one more time. She's going to cast Overwhelm again, so the only person attacking is Alma.
How's that? Incinerate.
And there you go. The Dragon God has been defeated. So as I said, if you don't have some of the shareable Grasta, if you don't have Elpis weapons, things like that, this boss is not terribly difficult just with the right setup. The main thing is you have a crystal user with Grasta that improves their damage with pain, and you have someone who can set pain. Doesn't have to be Iffy, it could be another pain setter. In fact, if you don't want to use pain, Ether Alchema actually inflicts poison itself. You could give 3 poison Grasta and upgrade those to Alma, and she could basically be her own poison setter. So that is a strategy as well. So there you go. That's 2 different ways to kill the Dragon God boss featuring Alma. Alright guys, here's another way to defeat the Dragon God. This team does not have Radius, and I moved Xion just to the back row. So we have Pizzica and her singing abilities, which we will actually use a non-singing ability to buff up bow characters first. Alma, of course, is going to Lunatic. We're going to set Pain and Poison, and Garum is going to inflict Rage and beef up Resistance. So right now we have no zone set at all. We're going to start singing now. We're going to try the Rhapsody Aura. She will Ether Alchema. She's going to buff up everybody, and he is going to decrease the enemy's power a bit more. Garum is getting pretty close to death. So it would be nice to be able to heal him or give him some more buffs to survive. So I could be singing a different song, one that produces heals and stuff like that. We're going to go with this for now. We're going to bring him down to his HP stopper. This is Alma's last turn with Lunatic. Dragon God still has his pain, still has his break. So given that Garam's health is getting low, this would probably be a good time to blow the AF bar. She is just going to Ether Alchema the entire time. It really doesn't quite matter what she does. I might just work in all three. And in his case, it's kind of the same situation. So the boss still has... Oh, actually, it looks like he's missing Rage. So I could do Rage again, stuff like that. But Ether Alchema will probably just destroy the boss now that we've hit the HP stopper. And sure enough, the boss is dead. And there is another strategy using Alma. The team this time, I still had Iffy. She still had pretty much the same gear and the same Grasta as before. And Alma still had Miyaki's bow, not the Opus weapon, and just a regular power badge. Otherwise, she was about the same as well. So the two new characters, Garam, I know not everyone has him right now. However, in an upcoming update soon, believe you're going to have some choices for some free characters, and he is one of the choices. So at some point, everyone should at least have access to him. And so that's why I chose him. Starkey and a few other tanks work really well against this boss as well. So Garam, Grasta-wise, I just had Grasta that gave him 900 extra health. Otherwise, they weren't even activated. Gear-wise, he had Plasma Bangle. He had a badge that gave him 2,000 extra health from Toto's Theater World. So he had 7,300 total health. His weapon was the Pointy Parasol, just because it gave him a little bit of physical resistance. It really didn't matter what his weapon was, to be honest. He just had to survive long enough for Alma to kill the boss. Pizzica was not even level 80, she was only level 64. Weapon-wise, she had a Lollipopper for a little bit of extra health. It was not maxed out. I think maybe it was a +3 or so. Helix Ring, which gives some physical resistance, and I'm still leveling her, so she had an XP badge. Grasta-wise, she did have Grasta that supported Alma. So it was the same Pizzica that you saw in some of the previous videos in the back row. I just moved her to the front row. So her Grasta improved damage at full health or below 80% health and gave all bow users regen. And she pretty much cast her one fire attack once, which improves bow damage by 30%. And then she was singing Rhapsody Araya the rest of the time, which improved critical rate, damage, and inflicted break on the boss. So that was the front line. I just moved Xion to the back line. It was the same Xion as before, same Grasta. None of the Grasta helped at all in this fight. So, and you saw that this fight did not even have Magic Zone. So, Bivette was in the background, completely unequipped. Grasta-wise, basically she was helping staff lovers for the most part, but she did have the cat lover Grasta, which improved damage by 25% for all cat lovers, and Alma is a cat lover. So the back row, Xion was completely useless. I could have removed him from the fight entirely. Meanwhile, Bivette was only boosting Alma by 25%. So that is another team composition, including someone that's not even level 80, that was able to defeat the Dragon God. I'm going to try and show you a few more ways in case you don't have Alma. So keep watching for some more strategies. Alright guys, let's say that you don't have Alma at all, but you have Eva, another crystal user. So we've given Eva the Power of Agony with Bullseye, and 2 Power of Pains that are unupgraded. Otherwise, the team is the same as before, without the most powerful gear. Eva herself only has the Plasma Rod, Plasma Ring, and an Int badge. So if you have something like the Weakness badge and stuff like that, feel free to equip it. It will help a lot. But let's just go ahead and do that. But an Int badge works out. So here is the Dragon God featuring Eva. Now her skill set, she can reduce the resistance of crystal on the boss. She can also improve the damage that she does with these 2 abilities. So we're going to cast Glacial Veil, Attack Order. We're going to create Pain Poison and Overwhelm. So pretty much similar to before.
Too slow.
Eva is now going to Glint Purge. She's going to buff up Eva. He's going to improve magic damage, and she's going to Prominence Purge. So again, pretty much the same routine, just a different character. And now the Dragon God's crystal resistance is down by basically 100%.
Take this.
Okay, I could Lunatic at this point. In fact, that sounds like a really good idea. So let's Lunatic now. We're going to Awaken the Zone. She is going to give everyone status immunity, and she's going back to her normal Overwhelm.
Take this.
Thanks to Prominence Purge, the boss attacked 3 times, and therefore my team gets healed 3 times. So now she's going to Astral Drago. He's going to create a break. At this point, I'm not really sure what matters for her. Let's just make sure that the boss stays with Pain and Poison. And she's going to Overwhelm again. Now Astral Drago will attack 4 times if the boss is above 50% health. So we basically brought the boss down to the HP stopper. And so we're going to do the exact same thing again. Now she should only attack twice, but it doesn't really matter. The first attack did the job. So there is the Dragon God featuring another crystal attacker, Eva, with basically the same support crew, just with a few different skills. Alright, so let's say that you don't have the supporting team that I did. I kind of whipped up another support team, Mariel, who is a crystal user as well. Do have her ES form, which I realize not everyone has. Azami, a free character, Starkey, a free character, and the person in the back really could be anyone that sets a magic zone. I just went with Rosetta. So let's see how this team does against the Dragon God. Alright, so Mariel is going to cast her Oratio Virtuous which improves damage. All party members gain lunatic. They gain a shield. Pretty good stuff. So she is going to beef up her damage as well. We're going to switch and bring in the wind zone. And Starkey is going to inflict rage.
Alakazam! All sins will be forgiven.
Alright, since characters basically are lunaticked right now, I could blow the AF bar, hit Glint Purge to reduce his resistance, and then Astral Drago him down to his HP stopper, which I think I'm going to go ahead and do now. She's just going to blast it with crystal attacks. She is going to beef up the team's resistance, and now that he's raged, I'm going to improve Starkey's health and then just attack. So
I feel it in my soul.
Alright, Starkey's going to do his Star Aura. She's going to continue to beef up resistances. Glint Purge was successfully used, so now we're going to Astral Drago. And she is going to... see, we still have the cheer going on, so she'll just beef up the team's health. Looks like a few people are down a little bit. Okay, the boss now hit the HP stopper. So we're going to Astral Drago again. Cheer is still going on, so... okay, we've done that, so let's get some type resistance going, and Starlight, so... Right. We're going to do Astral Drago again. The boss is pretty low on health at this point. The cheer is still active, so she'll just attack. All of these have been cast, so let's go with... I think this one was one used most recently. Let's see, Starburst. He is still in rage. Oh, he's still raged. And... that's 5 turns. How's his power? Still down, so I guess we'll just do a Starlight. So the Astral Drago should kill the Dragon God. So this team's gear. Mariel had the Dark Spirit Claws, basically just to improve her speed some. She did have the Elpis necklace. She could have gotten away with something less. And she had a speed badge. Her Grasta basically just gave her some extra health. 900 extra health. Eva had the same gear as the last time. She had Plasma Rod, Plasma Ring, Weak Point badge. And as far as her Grasta, she did have Power of Agony with Bullseye, and then just 2 more Power of Pains. Zami, I just had a high speed. She wasn't really used in this fight. She was just someone to swap out with. So Sparky had Miyake's staff for some resistance, plasma ring, and he had a badge that gave him an extra 1,000 health. Cresta-wise, he allowed people with staff users like Eva to improve their damage when they were at max health, to improve their damage when they were below 80% health, and he gave all people, all staff users, 300 extra health. So that was pretty much the team. Eva took care of that fight, and the Dragon God did not have pain at all. So if you had a pain setter of any kind, that fight would have gone even faster. So that's another way to kill the Dragon God. I hope some of these variations helped make you think about your team and who you have available to you. Hopefully you have either Alma or Eva to make this fight really, really simple. There are other videos out there that don't involve Alma or Eva, but I wanted to give you, if you happen to have one of those characters, I wanted to give you the ability to kind of build around them and make them able to kill the Dragon God in just a few turns. So, hope you enjoyed watching. Casual Chrono, signing out.